Hello my friends, and welcome back to The Long Night. A special welcome to those of you who are new here. Though the night might be long, dark, and scary, we will get through it together to see the sun rise. This is the first in a new series of videos I am planning on creating. I am going to share with you a historical Yowie sighting. I think that it is important to do this because it demonstrates a pattern that proves that these creatures are not a recent invention and that they have been sighted on the continent for centuries before the term Bigfoot entered the common vernacular during the mid-1900s. These videos are also a bit shorter to produce, so they will give you guys some much needed content while I work on larger projects. Please check out the timestamps in the description box for more information. This sighting took place in the year 1882 and was made by a Henry James McCooey. Henry James McCooey was a journalist and a collector of specimens for the Sydney Museum. The sighting was submitted in the form of a letter to the naturalist and was published in the Australian Town and Country Journal on the 9th of December, 1882. Okay, let's get into the report. Reports occasionally reach us of strange animals of the monkey tribe being seen in different parts of the colony. A few days ago, I saw one of these strange animals in an unfrequented locality between Bateman's Bay and Ulladulla. My attention was attracted by the cries of a number of small birds which were pursuing and darting at it. When I first beheld the animal, it was standing on its hind legs, partly upright, looking up at the birds, blinking its eyes, distorting its visage and making a low, chattering kind of noise. Being above the animal on a slight elevation and distant, less than a chain, which is about 20 meters, I had ample opportunity of noting its size and general appearance. If it was standing perfectly upright, it would be nearly 5 feet high. It was tailless and covered with a very long black hair, which was of a dirty red or snuff color about the throat and breast. Its eyes, which were small and restless, were partly hidden by matted hair that covered its head. The length of the forearms or arms seemed to be strikingly out of proportion with the rest of the body, but in all other respects it seemed to be fairly proportional. It would weigh around 50 kilograms. On the whole, it was a most uncouth and repulsive looking creature, evidently possessed of prodigious strength, and one which I should not care to come to close quarters with. Having sufficiently satisfied my curiosity, I threw a stone at the animal, whereupon it immediately rushed off, followed by the birds, and disappeared into a ravine which was close at hand. I do not claim to be the first who has seen this animal, for I can put my finger on half a dozen men at Bateman's Bay who have seen the same, or at any rate, an animal of similar description. I may further state that the skeleton of an ape, 4 feet in height, may be seen at any time in a cave 14 miles from Bateman's Bay in the direction of Ulladulla. Yours truly, Henry James McCooey. Hi, back to me again. Although Mr. McCooey's claim of a readily accessible Yowie skeleton are dubious, they are not without historical precedent. During a similar period in the United States of America, people were uncovering giant skeletons in burial mounds and caves around the country. Some of the most prominent discoveries were made at Lovelock Cave in Nevada between 1911 and 1931. Guano miners at the cave uncovered the mummified bodies of giant humans, measuring between 8 to 10 feet in height. The specimens were promptly collected by agents of the Smithsonian Museum, never to be seen again. McCooey's claims are also substantiated by the local First Nations people's law, and the area around Bateman's Bay and Ulladulla continues to be a Yowie hotspot to this day. But alas, until a specimen is secured and independently examined, skepticism around the existence of these creatures will pervade. I would also like to note that the size of the creatures reported by McCooey, being between 4 to 5 feet in height, sound more like that of a Junjidi or a brown jack rather than a Yowie. I made a video covering the Junjidi, which you can watch here. Another interesting detail to note is that McCooey observed the birds harassing the Junjidi. I think that this detail adds an additional layer of credibility to the testimony. Scientific knowledge on the behavior of apes and monkeys was scant in 1882, comparatively speaking as to what it is now. But it is a well-known fact that monkeys and apes will take bird eggs from their nests as they forage for food. Apes and monkeys likely view bird eggs as a high-yield, low-risk food source. Perhaps this Junjidi thought the same thing, and did not count on the parent birds to be protecting their nests. A quick internet search shows that the main bird species which display swooping behavior are the Australian magpie, crow, magpie larks, noisy myna, grey butcherbird, and masked lapwing or plover. The website does state that any nesting bird may swoop people who get too close to their nests, or perhaps Yowies for that matter. In episode 209 of Bigfoot and Beyond, a podcast hosted by former Finding Bigfoot hosts James Bobo Fay and Cliff Barackman, guest W.J. Sheehan shared some stories from his book called Bigfoot, Terror in the Woods. In this episode, Sheehan recounted a story where the witness observed a murder of ravens circling and swooping a Bigfoot, attempting to hide from its aerial pursuers in a pine tree. The Bigfoot was seen clinging from the side of the tree adjacent to a twiggy raven's nest. The witness estimated that the Bigfoot was suspended some 75 feet in the air and was repeatedly reaching one hand into the nest and moving its hand towards its mouth. The Bigfoot repeated this movement, and it became apparent to the witness as to why the ravens were harassing the hairy giant. It was devouring their young. I will post the link to this episode in the description box of this video. The reason why I mention it is because these creatures have been observed eating bird eggs or chicks, and I believe that this is why the birds were swooping the Junjidi in McCooey's testimony. Thanks for listening to this historical Yowie sighting. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It helps me out a lot. The more likes this video gets, the more YouTube promotes the video to new viewers. I would also be very, very appreciative if you left a comment down below. I love to read your comments, and it also helps the video in the good old YouTube algorithm. Thank you guys for supporting this channel. It really means a lot to me, and I couldn't do the work that I do without your continued viewership and support. If you have a story that you would like to submit and potentially have shared on the channel in a future episode, be sure to submit it at thelongnightmailbag@gmail.com, which I will also leave in the description box of this video. I would love to share your stories with the audience. I'm getting ready to upload another recent sightings video, which is quite unusual and highly disturbing, and I will also share more historical sightings with you. Please don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, smash that like button, and I'll see you all soon with another episode. May the night fare you well.